Hello there, you're now with me, Hendy Gui, and welcome to your 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Let's dive into the headlines for today. Sarawakians must continue to be vigilant as the country begins its transition into the endemic phase. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Rahman Johari Tun Openg said Sarawakians must be well informed about the current health and travel guidelines that may change from time to time. On behalf of the state government, Abang Johari expressed his appreciation to fellow Sarawakians for their resilience, patience and discipline in adhering to all the standard operating procedures, SOP and initiatives of the government. He noted that since March 2022, there has been a daily decline in new COVID-19 cases. The procedures to enter Sarawak have since been published, with on-the-ground preparedness and risk assessment undertaken by the Sarawak Disaster Management Committee with the relevant ministries on the guidelines pertaining to the borders. Meanwhile, he said, to date, 89.19% of vaccine booster doses have been administered, urging those eligible who have yet to be vaccinated to do so. Now, modern agriculture is an ever-changing approach to agricultural innovations and farming practices to increase efficiency. Minister of Agriculture and Food Industries, Datuk Sri Dr. Ronald Kiandi, who paid a courtesy visit to Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Rahman Johari Tun Openg, highlighted various aspects in modernizing the agricultural sector in Sarawak, as well as developing the national agri-food sector.
Jadi pelbagai bentuk kerjasama telah dibincang bersama dengan Yang Amat Berhormat Premier, juga melibatkan cadangan penglibatan secara agresif pihak swasta dalam industri agro makanan negara di negeri ini. Di pihak Kementerian MAFI, negeri Sarawak adalah merupakan negeri yang kita tumpukan untuk membangunkan sektor agro makanan.
A total of 150 million ringgit has been allocated to develop the agro-food sector in Sarawak.
Bagi memastikan kesan daripada pelbagai faktor yang memberi kesan terhadap security makanan negara dapat kita tangani dengan baik untuk melihat sektor agro makanan ini dimodernkan dan juga penggunaan teknologi bagi mengurangkan kos, kebergantungan kepada import, meningkatkan produktiviti dan juga mengurus sektor agro makanan secara lebih efisien. Jadi itu merupakan aspirasi bersama antara kerajaan negeri dan juga Kementerian Pertanian dan Industri Makanan Persekutuan.
Also present were Minister for Modernisation of Agriculture and Regional Development Datuk Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom and MAFI Deputy Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Hamzah.
Now, tourism is facing its worst crisis, with demands from tourists changing with an increased need for safety and security assurances against COVID-19 and easy access to information. Harnessing the role of technology should be a key strategy for the region as it recovers from the pandemic, with the reopening of the borders on April 1st. The recent climate has also allowed debate on the need for change in the industry for Sarawak's tourism to remain competitive and relevant. As we dwell further on this topic, let's hear it from the President of Sarawak Tourism Federation, Audrey Wan Ulok.
Yes, of course, I do agree. There are things that we must change, and we have to keep up to date with the trends. For example, insofar as digital marketing is concerned, so that we can actually have a more relevant presence globally. So this being more proactive digitally, more digital savvy, I think these are trends that we have to keep up with and update ourselves with. I think one of the things that we are sometimes lacking is, of course, our upgrading and our maintenance. We've got good attractions, but after a while, they're nicely launched, but after a while, the maintenance slackens a bit. So I think that is really important when we open up again, that we ensure that the maintenance and the in tip-top condition.
For the international promotional purposes, Audrey disclosed that videos depicting the attractions in Sarawak are currently being distributed on various social media platforms, with ongoing collaborations with various organizations to create a bigger impression to the global market on Sarawak.
We're collaborating with MAS. It's called Siasito Plus. So this will actually appeal to non-Sarawakians. So it can be West Malaysians, it can be international tourists, Singaporeans, and even expatriates who are living in West Malaysia. So yeah, so those are the efforts that we are trying to do to get people interested to come here and to show people that we are ready and that they can come here without any worry that in fact we have been very careful, and of course good reviews on social media plays a very important part as well. So yeah, so that's how it will be. It will gradually pick up. It's not going to pick up overnight. It will slowly pick up, and yeah. So I think that is how it's going to happen.
Malaysia opened its doors, welcoming tourists from all over the world starting April 1st. Welcome back. Now, the public are reminded that the country is only in a transition phase to endemic and has not yet entered the endemic phase. In this regard, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said the standard operating procedures SOP set should be practiced to ensure that Malaysia can move to the next phase safely.
The phase allows the community to familiarize themselves living with the presence of the virus that are at least disruptive to daily life by adopting public health measures to protect themselves, their families, and the community. On the number of new COVID-19 cases, Dr. Noor Hisham said the country continued to record below 20,000 cases for 5 consecutive days, with 18,560 cases reported yesterday, bringing the cumulative number of new cases to 4,201,919. According to Dr. Noor Hisham, no new COVID-19 clusters were reported as of yesterday, and a total of 198 clusters were still active thus far. He said the COVID-19 infectivity rate was 0.87 nationwide, with Selangor recording the highest rate at 1.06, while the lowest rate was reported in Sabah at 0.64.
Over 10,000 foreign travelers and Malaysians residing abroad are expected to arrive at airports nationwide as the country reopened its borders today. Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri said the move will bring a huge impact on the tourism industry of the country, subsequently facilitating the nation's economic recovery.
With an estimated contribution of up to 8.6 billion ringgit by year-end to the country's economy, adding that the number of visitors could even surpass the 2 million mark.
Very
Hope we have been waiting patiently, really waiting for this moment. Like I used to joke with my colleagues here, saying that this is like our Hari Raya. We have been waiting for that moment. And if you see what happened in Singapore from Singapore going to Johor, although most of them are Malaysians, but you see the excitement. So we share the excitement. And with this, for today, we are hoping to see there will be about 100 overflights today. Well, it's a mixture of people coming. Some are from overseas. Some are foreigners. Some are local Malaysians coming back to the country. So their excitement is our excitement because they've been wanting to come back, and we're happy to be part of the joy of the people.
Nancy said as she welcomed 220 passengers arriving via Etihad Airways flight EY418 from Abu Dhabi at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA here today. The aircraft is the 6th international flight to land at KLIA, which also coincided with the first day Malaysia transitions into the endemic phase. There were about 100 flights scheduled to arrive at Malaysia's airport today, carrying over 10,000 passengers, including foreign visitors, with 80 of them via the KLIA and KLIA-2. Meanwhile, various programs have been planned for this year, such as iftar, breaking of fast events to highlight Malaysia's culture and customs, apart from tourism products such as entertainment, shopping venues, and island holidays.
Now wrapping up the 5 p.m. news, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob arrived in Jakarta on Friday morning for a brief work visit. The special aircraft carrying the Prime Minister landed at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport at 7 a.m. Indonesian time. He's scheduled to attend a bilateral meeting with Indonesian President Joko Widodo and then witness the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding on the employment and protection of Indonesian domestic workers.
The historic MOU will be signed by Human Resources Minister Datuk Seri M. Saravanan and his Indonesian counterpart, Minister of Manpower Ida Fauzia. Malaysia and Indonesia first signed the PDI MOU on May 13, 2006 in Bali, and following that, the protocol to amend the PDI MOU was signed on May 31, 2011 in Bandung. It expired on May 30th, 2016. After signing the ceremony, development in the Malaysia-Indonesia border areas will be identified following the opening of Indonesia's new capital city, Nusantara. Touching on oil palm, the two Southeast Asian nations account for roughly 85% of the world's palm oil productions, have agreed that the price should be determined together instead of competing.
And that concludes the 5 p.m. English news on TVS. As usual, don't forget to tune in for the Nightline at 11:30 p.m. With that, I'm Handy Gui. Stay safe and have a pleasant day.